Hey, what's up? It's Jake from Nimbus DevOps, and we're here now to talk about data interchange formats. So, modern software tends to split an app into several components. So, whether you embrace a service oriented architecture paradigm or push it further into microservices, the components will have to exchange data. Even if you're coding a monolith application whose code base is all one giant project, you're still going to have to exchange data with APIs, other programs, or just some kind of data flow with front end and back end, which very likely don't speak the same language. Uh, you know, SQL doesn't translate in Python and the other way around, and so speaking to a database in Python is not really a thing you can do without using an API. So choosing the right format to exchange information is very, very crucial. The language specific format has the advantage that the language is likely to provide you with tools to make serialization and deserialization very easy, but you'll lose the ability to talk to each other. So, regardless of what that looks like, you want to go with language specific format. It should only be done if the only possible choice for whatever situation is whatever it is. So a better approach um, is to choose a format that is language agnostic and can be spoken by all or at least most of the language. Um, so there are situations where you'll be leading or working in teams in different parts of the world, and the people don't all speak the same language, and so you have to figure something out. And um, in many cases, all those people might speak English, and programming is no different. So in the software world, there are some popular formats, and the three most popular are XML, YAML, and JSON. And the Python standard library features XML and JSON modules, and PyPy, you can find a few different packages to work with YAML. So in Python, JSON is probably the most commonly used. It's it wins over the other two because it's part of a standard library and it's pretty simple. If you've ever worked with XML, it's just a nightmare. Some people prefer YAML, and YAML is great, but again, you have to use PyPy to get that. So while working with a database like Postgres or something, the ability to use native JSON fields is a compelling case for adopting JSON in the app as well. So sometimes it's not just how easy it is to work with it with your code. It's, well, what is your code what is it working with? And if YAML isn't something that you can do easily to work with another program, then maybe JSON is a better choice. Nowadays, YAML is so popular that there's all kinds of tools popping up to allow people to write YAML to interact with databases or to interact with, different DevOps tools or containers. I mean, look at Kubernetes; it's all just YAML files, right? So there's a strong case for either. I think that it just depends on the place. A lot of it also, I will just say, my personal opinion is it depends on who you have too. So if you're building something today, if nobody knows JSON, then but they know YAML, just use YAML. But if everybody knows JSON and a couple people know YAML, then maybe you just, take a vote on it and see whatever. But regardless, you need to have a common language. So we're going to start out this next part in working with JSON, which is super, super fun. So now, not only are you going to be learning Python, but you're going to start learning some JSON. So buckle up and get ready.